but he who hates reproof is stupid. Gotta love the Bible. Just says it like it is. Discipline, right? Whoever loves discipline. Discipline isn't always going to be punishment for doing wrong. Discipline is to be disciplined, to make course corrections when necessary, to be teachable, right? Whoever hates reproof, that is, whoever hates to be corrected or to taught the right way, or to, basically, is foolish, is stupid. And so, you don't want to be in that position. You want to always be teachable, be open to learn. Some advice is really good. Some advice is not all that great. Some people just love to correct all the time. That's a whole nother issue for probably another proverb. But in general, you want to have an open, teachable spirit. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of evil devices he condemns. No one is established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous will never be moved. Excellent. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. And, that there's just a saying there that's kind of interesting. A crown is kind of a symbol of what? Royalty, of reward. If you think about in the Olympic Games, when they be given a crown, it was a reward. It's honor, right? It's a way, basically it's a symbol of honor is what it is. So whenever you see that word crown, think about honor. It's a symbol of honor. You're being honored. And an excellent wife is going to be honoring. I just think about just the blessing of how my wife honors me. You'll see a lot of people, some married people, they will have no problem correcting each other in front of total strangers, out in public and everything. And sometimes I see that and I think, wow, if we have something, my wife will wait till we get home at least. But I really am so thankful for my marriage and for others, those of you that, you got to be thankful for your husband or your wife. They be a crown of honor, especially, if they're a godly husband, a godly wife, or they love you, they show you honor. That's a crown, right? But she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. And again, it can be flipped around, right? An excellent husband, right? So you can flip that around. The thought of the righteous are just. The counsels of the wicked are deceitful, of course. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous will stand. So you can see this theme, right? This theme here in Proverbs is really that, don't follow the way of the wicked, right? The way of the wicked, it seems to prosper, but it really doesn't prosper. It seems to, and that's very deceptive. On the surface, it seems like, man, they've got everything all together, but it's not true, right? A man is commended according to his good sense, but one of twisted mind is despised. Better to be lowly and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread. That's kind of interesting that basically just to be humble. You might be well off, but be humble about it. There are people that play it like they're really rich and they really aren't, and that's kind of an interesting one right there. But no matter your position, I mean, if God has blessed you, great. Keep that to yourself and just bless others. Amen. Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast. Hey. So if you guys ever wondered if the Bible has anything to say about pets, well, here you go. Or these are beasts of burden. I mean, if you are a farmer, if you have cattle, if you have sheep, you still should treat them rightly. I mean, even if you're using them for food, but there's no excuse for abuse of animals, right? But whoever has righteous Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel. And so, again, some of us, that have our fur buddies and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. And God actually cares about how you treat animals. He does. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. So that's basically saying work hard. Hard work is going to be rewarded. That's not something we just came up with. That's in the Bible. Whoever is wicked covets the spoil of evildoers, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. An evil man is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes from trouble. From the fruit of his mouth a man is satisfied with good, and the work of a man's hand comes back to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice, right? How many people do you know or that you have encountered that they're always right? They're right in their own eyes. Doesn't matter what you say. They're not open to new information. They don't have a teachable spirit, right? But a wise man listens to advice, right? Again, be teachable, be open, always be available to learn new things, to be educated, right? The vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Don't get all hot and upset and frustrated and show your frustration. Sometimes, I think about in the past where, I've shown my frustration, and it's not good. You really don't want to do that. Some people have no self-control at all, and that's not good. And so self-control is a fruit of the Spirit, by the way. To be vexed, right? Frustrated, upset. The vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. You gotta let things, just, let's say water off a duck's back, or let it go over your head, or however you want to put it. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it to get so upset and so frustrated, over things. So just be very, very careful about that. If someone insults you, just let it go. If that's a friend or somebody that you trust, you can maybe talk to later about when you're not all angry. Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, but a false witness utters deceit. There is one whose rash words are like a sword thrust, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Again, this is really saying, it's important how you speak to people. Rash words is quick, just really quick to cut. Words can do damage, often causing wounds that can last for a long time. But, the tongue of the wise brings healing. What is he saying there? He's saying basically that the words that you use to comfort people, you always want to try to bring healing into people's lives as much as possible. A lot of the harsh things that we say, there's a lot of things that probably run through your mind that you shouldn't say. You just don't, right? Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. No ill befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims folly, right? Again, here is sharing, oversharing. A prudent man conceals knowledge. In other words, it's like, don't be without a filter, I guess. That's one way of putting it. Don't just let everything come in and then go out. There's some things that you learn or some things that people share, and just keep it to yourself, right? The heart of the fools proclaim folly. In other words, it's just the fools are just, they're leaky, right? They don't, it's like a bucket full of holes, just leaks water. It's you just be very, very careful. Obviously, people that there are people out there that will share anything and everything, and so sometimes you gotta be careful what you share. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. Again, it's about laziness, about working hard, right? Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. Again, encouragement, right? One who is righteous is a guide to his neighbor, but the way of the wicked leads him astray. Whoever is slothful will roast his game, but the diligent man will get precious wealth. Whoever is slothful will roast his game, but the diligent man will get precious wealth. That probably will require okay, so there's a little note down here. It says, but diligence is precious wealth. So there's alternate readings. Sometimes different versions of the Bible will have a different way of translating into the English language. Sometimes that's a hard thing. Sometimes in the Hebrew, depending upon the translation that you use, if it's a word for word, it gets a little awkward. If you use a New Living Translation or NIV, it tends to bring a whole thought or sentence into the English language. Word for word is definitely more accurate, but then you have to kind of open up and do some of the word studies, and so we'll look at this again in the next time we get together. In the path of the righteous is life, and his pathway there is no death, right? Again, the righteous, obviously those who trust in God, we're going to live with God. Even Job said, that he was going to see God. He knew that this life is not all there is, that we are going to live on to be with the Lord if we trust in Lord Jesus Christ for our salvation. His death on the cross, his resurrection. So this is the path that we need to be on. So there's a lot of great stuff in here. Again, how to talk to people, how not to talk to people. Some things you just keep to yourself. There's a lot of good advice in here. And again, this is 3,000 years old, but it needs to be said. We could learn an awful lot from this today. So hopefully this was helpful. Go ahead and click the subscribe button down lower corner if you want to get more